That's a double yellow line, dude. You're not allowed to do that. Told you. I'm guessing he turned left there and he's in the wrong place to do that. Anyway, let's get this field finished. So I had like 43% in the, oh, sorry, I had 3% in the tank. For some reason we're now at 42%, so math rounding issues, I guess. We've got 60% of the field left to do, and I think we might be okay. I might have to drive. He's back again, dude. I might have to drive this back to the farm and unload it. So I think our planter takes fertilizer. And we're going to need some for that job. Where is the field? Oh, it's up there. The red van's not trying to pass. Oh, he went the other way. That's good. Alrighty. So back to this. I don't think this is going to take us too long now. Although it'll probably polish off the episode. I will be buying the big Breedle spreader and filling that with lime and probably spreading. Oh yeah, we're in the right place almost. Spreading lime on the grass field so I can get it planted, and then maybe that might be November 2. Then November 3, I'll lime the rest of my fields. So that'll give us lime on all the fields before winter. Technically, November's kind of sort of winter. Well, technically, no, it's not. December 21st is when winter starts, but November's when snow happens sometimes, especially in these parts in Michigan. Anyway, so we finished the cultivating. I will probably. It's okay. I was thinking I should probably use the case to go get the fertilizer spreader and some lime. But I'm kind of thinking we could just use the big John Deere for that. I could also, because this is the last time I'm going to want to lime any of my fields in the next 3 years, I could just lease the big lime spreader, do the fields, and then leave it at that. It's always an option. Because I don't need to buy the lime spread. I'm not intending generally to spread fertilizer on my fields. It's an option with the planter. Might not even do it with that. But if I've got solid fertilizer, it's an option. But a lot of the time, my pre-planting strategy is to put manure or slurry down. I don't have a manure truck or a slurry truck at this stage, and I don't really feel the need to buy one. Oops. So fertilization is going to be an expensive thing that we do on the farm, because we're going to have to buy all the fertilizer and stuff. But once I can use natural stuff, what I generally do is we spread the manure out on the field. We plant the field, so that gives it a good base of nitrogen, and I try and base the nitrogen on what I know the crop needs. And then once the crop emerges like this field, I'll go out with a sprayer and just spray the plants with more fertilizer. Now I'm branching into all sorts of crops that I don't know anything about. We have the option of planting rice, the long grain rice. Soybeans, I haven't done soybeans. Cotton is also something that is grown in Missouri. Not a lot of it, but it is grown there. And then going back to our normal stuff is wheat, corn, sorghum. So we'll have 3 crops I know about and 3 I don't. Yeah, I kind of figured that, but obviously what I'm doing now, I'm going to lime the fields because I don't have any manure spreading tools. All I'm going to do now is just get out there and spray the crops once they've emerged. So, that said, I don't need to know what nitrogen level. I'm going to need to make some notes on what the nitrogen levels are for each of the crops. But from then onwards, I can go out and I think corn is 200 kilos a hectare. So I'll go and push out slurry or manure to say 150, and then I'll top it off with the spray. I know grass is 40 kilos a hectare approximately, so I'm not going to spread any manure on a grass field because I can just go out with the sprayer and get that done. There's some other crops where it's like 120, 140. So at that point, I'm looking, well, I'll put 60 in manure on the field and then I'll top it off with liquid to make it more precise. Because getting it precise gets you a good environmental score. And while I'm chasing yield, not environmental score, but having a good environmental score gives you a bonus. And so I'm not going to say no to a bonus. I'm just not chasing the bonus. And that's the big deal we have here. So it's there. Oh, sounds like Mrs. Osa's might be up. It's about right. It's about 11 o'clock. This bit, we'll go down this bit. Come on, select the new path. I'm going to do that, and we are going to have a look at being precision farming. We are still 65. We actually got a 4% yield bonus on our farm at the moment, so that's kind of a good thing. I think a lot of the stuff doesn't tick over until you harvest a place. We've just harvested the grass field for a second time, so the nitrogen on that was very nice. The nitrogen on our cornfield was boosted before it got ready to harvest. But the nitrogen on our wheat field was whatever it was when we started the game, which was very, very poor. So we got a very poor wheat harvest. We got kind of an okay corn harvest. But we did boost, the problem is we can't control the weeds. We couldn't control how we planted the fields because we didn't do it. It was, the fields were loaded that way. The only options I had was to fertilize a field that was not ready to harvest. So couldn't do that to the wheat and couldn't do that to the grass the first time. This second time, as soon as we got those bales off the field, I went out there and fertilized it. So we got a good yield for the silage we just made, and two, a good yield, a good level of nitrogen for the environmental score. So that's why we're up to 4%. Prior to cutting the grass today, our environmental bonus was 2%. Anyway, how are we doing? We're 84%. This is okay. We've still got 4% leeway in our fertilizer. I don't think I could have bought less than 4 packs or 4 pallets, but this is okay for now. I'm not even sure if it slows down if I'm going over an area that's already fertilized. Kind of hope it does. I'm not noticing any difference though. Okay. This looks like another good long run. But yeah, I think this farm, it's going to get interesting. We are going to do a little bit of cotton eventually. I have to be able to afford a good sized field for it and be able to afford a harvester before I plant it. We will be buying some good sized fields though. Maybe the 2 we fertilized today are good candidates, although that one's 600,000 and this one is going to be way too much. Oh, we're still burning through fertilizer at that stage. So okay, this is not graduated usage. Let's go. Hopefully I didn't burn off. We're within 2%, so hopefully I didn't burn off too much fertilizer just sitting doing nothing. And we can come back and do more later, of course. But we're over $200,000 now. That's not enough. I think there's a couple of very small fields in our neck of the woods, which I can now afford. I want to plant a very small field of sugar beets. So we got something to feed the horses. And I don't know, that might be the only shortfall I have on the farm at the moment is I don't have root crops for the horses. I think they eat sugar beets. I hope they eat sugar beets if I go to the expense. I may have to do some reading up on people who do horse farming. Unfortunately, most of the YouTubers I watch kind of like me, they don't do horses because it's too much work. Unless you have a stable manager. Yeah, most of them are, they do arable farming and productions. I tend not to blow out on productions. They are oats. I bought some bags of oats to feed them. They're really not going through much food. And I did give them hay. That much I did know, but they also have the need for, see, they have base food, that's oats. They take oats and sorghum. They require water, but it seems that water's included in the barn. You need to write them down. They need sorghum. I wonder, well, I guess we'll find out next year. Oh, and again. Oops. So, yeah, the plan is I'm going to plant sorghum because chickens will eat the sorghum. Yeah, and I don't know what root crop they'll take. So I'm hoping sugar beets. Because the sugar beet harvesters that are tractor hauled they're a good size. You know, you can run them on a very small tractor and they will do, you know, they've got a fair working width, about the same size working width as the self-propelled. They don't cost $500,000 though, so I kind of like that. You can do the same with carrots and parsnips and red beets. You also make good money off of sugar beets, so I might throw out. We'll buy a small field. We'll plant it with sugar beets. We'll see if the horses will eat it, and if they do, then we're good. And I probably don't need to grow sugar beets every single year. I don't think they'll eat that much of them. If they don't like the sugar beets, it's no big deal. The tractor hauled sugar beet equipment is relatively cheap. And we can look into planting maybe carrots, a small field of carrots or something. Okay, we are done. So, what do I need to do? I don't need to fold that up. We have 231 litres of solid fertiliser left. Woo-wee. Should I just sell it? I can complete this. I think you still get credited for whatever. Let's see, Winston, temper, yesterday. Okay, well, anyway. That one's complete. We get paid that it's not going to give me a reimbursement. Let's have a look at that. Well, there we go. That is all done. It needs lime, it needs ploughing. That's nice. So, we're over here. That's there. So, yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. But farm is doing well. I'm going to go and lease myself the big spreader. So this thing, and I might turn the license plate off. I don't need one. Spreading discs, don't really need it. Extension. Yeah, we'll put the extension on because it makes it taller. Wheels stand up. I could put the spread. We'll leave it at that. And then we lease it for 4,000. Yeah. Now, capacity is 18,950. Let's go and buy. Whoops. go and buy lime. Buy that. And okay, went the long way round. We'll buy that. Okay, so that's all ready. I am going to take this off to the store, but for now, I think I can wish you all a good day. We will be back next week. I'm kind of hoping I'd get everything done today on our farm and be able to skip through to December when we can. What's that? Dang. John Deere thing just came up in the store. Oh, it's one of those. Okay, don't need that. That's okay. Don't want one of those. But yes, so I will get the fields limed. It will probably be December or January next time, and we'll be selling out corn, making a truckload of money, literally, probably 10 truckloads of money, and we'll look at buying some land and working our way to spring. For now, I wish you all a good week. Have a good weekend. Back in Missouri next week. But for now, I'm out of here. Have fun, everyone.